Hello, my name is Daniel Walton, and for my field trip I went to the area between Lenore Lake and Banks Lake in eastern Washington. This area lies just to the southwest of Coulee City along Highway 17 and south of Highway 2. The site I was at contained several very notable features. At the north end there were dry waterfalls, and at the southern end there were the Lenore Caves. All of this was tucked within a very deep canyon. The jagged cliffs and canyons don't fit in with the flat farmlands we'd driven through on the way to this location, so it begs the question, how did all this get here? The answer lies in a large Ice Age era lake called Glacial Lake Missoula. This lake was larger than Lake Erie and Lake Ontario combined. The glacial ice dam kept the lake's water from flowing downstream. However, this is also its greatest weakness. As water built up behind the dam, pressure on the ice made it lose its structural integrity, and eventually the dam broke, sending a torrent of water all across what is now eastern Washington and into northern Oregon. The flow was so violent that it carved out canyons and even formed this waterfall. It is now dry, but when it was running, it was larger than Niagara Falls. In fact, not only is it larger than Niagara Falls, it is 10 times larger. It is 3.5 miles wide and 400 feet tall. To give you an idea of the size of the waterfall, compare the size of the SUV to the size of the whole waterfall. The flood's effects became even more apparent as I left the dry waterfall and went south on Highway 17 and into a deep canyon created by the floods. On both sides, jagged rocks stuck up more than 1,000 feet. I eventually reached the Lenore Caves State Park, where I could get up close with the rocks that have been exposed by the floods. After a short hike that included a few stairs, I eventually reached the caves that dot the walls of the canyon that surround Lake Lenore. These caves, made of basalt, represent the rock that was not able to withstand the rush of water that flowed over this area during the flood. Looking across the canyon, it was easy to see the different layers of basalt. These formed as lava flows cooled one upon the other over millions of years, according to the United States Geological Survey. These layers were made up of basalt columns, crowned on top with less organized basalt, also called entablature. I used my amazing artistic ability to show the layers of basalt columns as well as the layers of basalt entablatures between these basalt columns. Up close, some of this basalt appeared to have air bubbles in it. This was likely caused by lava flows flowing over marshy wetlands as steam got entrapped in the rock. This sketch shows the relatively small size of the air bubbles based on a rock that I brought back with me from the field. After a good time in eastern Washington, it was time to hit the road and leave the sun to go home to western Washington. But the things I saw around Dry Falls and the Lenore Caves gave me a new respect for the geologic history of Washington State. Thanks for watching my presentation.